Hi, this is Jeff McManus, and I'm with my friend Deshaun Thompson. It's good to see everybody. And today we want to talk to you about attitude. Deshaun, what do you think about the word attitude?
Man, attitude is something that is very, very important and crucial to our success and our journey through life. Basically, it makes people want to be around us, and it also makes people not want to be around us. So our attitude is very important.
Hey, did you ever get a grade on attitude in school?
I didn't. I didn't get a grade on attitude. Probably would have got maybe a passing grade, but barely. So
Yeah, attitude's one of those things we don't get graded on, but everybody judges us on. Like
mm,
everybody, when we come in contact with, I don't care if it's at work or at home, our attitude says so much about us as individuals. Deshaun, one of the things we talked about ahead of time was our attitude affects others, right? So if I come in with a great attitude and I'm happy, I'm going to affect the people around me, hopefully in a positive way. But also, if I come in a bad mood and I'm just grumpy as all get out and I'm frowning and I'm mad, I'm gonna send waves. I'm gonna send that out without saying a word. I'm gonna put that attitude out there, and it's gonna be contagious, right? It's going to be one of those things that can be caught by others. So, as a member of a team, I've got to be conscious about my attitude. You played sports a lot. You played ball back in the day. How important was attitude on the team?
Attitude is so important. The right attitude, as you said, Jeff, could inspire the other members on the team, and the wrong attitude could disrupt the chemistry of the team. So, being a part of that team environment, each individual, their attitude plays a huge part. And some people may not believe this, but their attitude plays a huge part in the success of the team. It plays a huge part in whether you win or lose a game. It plays a huge part of the development of the team. Your attitude towards practice, your attitude towards being corrected by the coach or being corrected by another player. So attitude as being a part of a team, man, it could either break you or, as they say, or it can make you. So having a good attitude when it comes to being on a team could either encourage somebody or discourage somebody. So yes, your attitude is super contagious. Now we got to be mindful of that.
I know a lot of times I've been around people who say, "So what? Who cares?" That's my own deal. Attitude's me, and if I affect somebody else, I don't really care. But one of the cool things that I discovered that nobody really ever tells you about is the secret of what an attitude does. And this is so true. I mean, I've heard it said in different ways, but it's a secret that you just don't hear about in school that much. But the attitude can determine how much money you make, because a great attitude can open up doors of opportunity to work with other people, to be around great people who are above what we're doing, and come along and work with them. I can guarantee you this: a bad attitude will definitely close doors of opportunity. So it's one of the things that I have shown that I discovered when I was in school. I was an okay student. I wasn't a great student. I was a B student in high school. I was a C student in college. But what set me apart and what has set me apart in my career has been my attitude to learn, to grow, because I knew I wasn't the smartest person in the room, but I knew that one of my advantages could be the way I treated people in the room. So if I treated them as Christ treated people, like I valued people, I respected them, regardless of whether I thought they could help me or not, but I was trying to help them. I'll tell you another one, Deshaun. When I worked to help my boss, and now I have that same attitude as I want my boss to be extremely successful. And if I can get my boss successful, guess who else is successful? Well, I am. I'm successful. And so I want my boss to look good. I want them I want to take care of things that they don't want to do. I want to jump in and do those things. And honestly, that's one of the things that I've happened. I work at Ole Miss is I'm in charge of the trash and picking up garbage, and it's not very fun. It's not very glamorous, and we also pull weeds. It's not all that exciting, but once we did it really, really well, opportunities opened up for us to manage more. And when we managed more, we got more responsibility, we got more success. And that led to another opportunity. We changed the culture there. We got offered to go over to the golf course. And little by little, because the attitude was, we're there to serve, we're there to help. How can I figure out how to help that short period of time? And it made all the difference in the world.
You bring up a good point, Jeff, that your attitude it could set you on the right path to success. It could take you further than anyone with talent. I remember reading a book, and I saw a quote. It says that talent without character is like a Lamborghini with no gas. It looks good, but it doesn't go anywhere. And Jeff, I feel that same way about having a good attitude or bad attitude. You can have the greatest talent, you can be the most talented person on the team, but your attitude is terrible, and that gets you nowhere. But then you have someone who may be less talented than you are, but have a great attitude, have a great work ethic, and they are, excited and ready to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty and do the things that other people won't do. Now, playing sports, one of the things that a lot of people did not like doing was rebounding. But once you understand the only way you can score is with the ball, and you know that, then that drives you, hey, we need the ball. So let me get my hands dirty and I may not be the best shooter, I may not be the best defender, but I guarantee you when the ball is in the air, I'm going after it. So, and I think we got to have that same attitude when it comes to being on a team in the workplace, especially when you are serving other people. You got to have the attitude that I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that I give the best customer service, that I give the best, with the best attitude, because as you stated, Jeff, when my boss looks good, guess who else looks good? The company, the team, the organization.
What you got to play in basketball. I got to sit on the bench, but one of the things our coach told us, he said, accept your role, whatever your role is. And I learned in the eighth grade that if I had the right attitude, I wasn't a starter, but I had to cover Anthony Barge. And Anthony Barge was our Michael Jordan. And I had to cover him in practice. And my attitude too could have been, you know what? I'm not going to get to play much. Why should I care? But the coach kept saying, accept your role, accelerate. You know what? I got to play a lot more because of my attitude to hustle, to guard Anthony Barge. And so that was the only reason. I wasn't a big scorer. I just hustled. Um, it's not, it's not, you know, what people sometimes start off in an entry level position and they go, well, this is just a starter job. I'll get my real job later. No, it starts now. The Bible tells us about there were three men who were given a group of talents, right? They were given a group of money, of income. One was given 10 talents, one was given five, and one was given one. The one with the 10 talents, he said, the owner says, I want y'all to take these. He says, go and use them. Well, the one with 10 took his, brought it back. He had doubled it. He had 20. The one with five had done the same thing. He had gone out, came back, he had 10. And the guy who gave it to him was like, man, good job. Way to take those talents and use them. Way to invest. Way to do the thing you need to do. But the guy who had the one, he had mental barriers. He was like, oh, I just can't do it. It's just one. It's just one. I can't do anything with one. So he buried his. And then he came back and he goes, hey, boss, I was afraid that, you'd yell at me if I lost it. I was afraid, and it was just one talent, so I didn't do anything with it. Well, the boss was upset and says, "Look, I gave you one. I wanted to see what you could do with it." It was kind of like starting picking up trash when I was at Ole Miss. They want to see if you can pick up the trash. They want to see if you can clean the campus. They want to see if they can trust you. And that's part of your character. He who's faithful in the small things will have more opportunities to do things in the big picture, right? And so that's what we're attitude will bring a lot of times. It's a level playing field. When you bring that great attitude in, it'll actually project you even above smarter players, even those with more talent. That attitude will take you over the top. What do you say, Deshaun?
Jeff, one of the things that comes to mind when you look at that story is, the first two guys, they valued the opportunity that they had, but the third guy didn't. He didn't value his opportunity. Having a job these days, that's a great opportunity, and we should value that opportunity to the point where, as Colossians chapter 3 says, we should work heartily as working for the Lord. We should value every opportunity we have to the point where we give our best effort 100% of the time. And our attitude plays an essential part in that, in us giving that effort.
When I'm coaching some of our newer team members, it's fun to listen when we talk about this and attitude. And sometimes you'll get a few people who go, "Well, it's not my fault that I come into work grumpy. It's not my fault I'm in a bad mood. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't that person out there, if it wasn't for them or so and so, I'd be fine." What would you say to a person? What would you say when you're coaching a person like that, Deshaun?
Well, the only thing you can control 100% of the time is your attitude. You control your attitude. You control how you respond to other people. You control how you react to certain situations. So the only person that can control your attitude or affect your attitude is you. You control that. Nobody else. No one else controls your attitude. That is something, that's an opportunity that God gave you to grow and to use and to be successful. And that is you controlling your attitude. Um, Say I was with somebody and we both was up for a position. Let's say he got the job or she got the job and I didn't. Now, my attitude towards that situation could either be good or bad. Now, if I choose to have a bad attitude, what do you think will happen when the next position comes open and the bosses remember, okay, when you were up for this position and you didn't get it, you had a bad attitude. But if I have a good attitude and I congratulate them and I still gave my 100% effort to assist the people that got the job, the next time a promotion or a job comes open, then I could possibly be up for that job. So no one else can control my attitude but me.
I think a lot of times people have a hard time with that because so many times we want to buy into it's not my fault, it's not me. And as soon as I realized, I had a time, Deshaun, when I accidentally lit a whole bunch of bottle rockets in my room when I was around 14, 15 years old. And bottle rockets in your room's not a good mix. And so they all went off, a bunch of them went off, and it burnt the carpet and all kind of issues. And so I had to tell my dad about it when he got home from work. And I didn't want to be responsible because it was an accident that I didn't plan. I didn't do it on purpose. But I remember him saying, who lit the fuse? Because I lit a blank fuse and was just holding it and then realized, hey, it's getting close to my finger. It's going to burn my finger. And I let go of it and I dropped it into a pile of bottle rockets and it ignited all of them. And so I didn't think I was responsible. That was hard. That was hard for me. But Deshaun, the sooner I began to take ownership in the way I feel, the way I respond, I got a lot better. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect, but I'm start taking responsibility for it. Then people who dump on me, who are mean to me, I don't have to go there. I don't have to go down that road with them. I realize that's their issue. So I appreciate you bringing that up about who we're in control. Sometimes we don't feel like it, but we're in control of what we do. So, Deshaun, thank you for joining me here today as we go through great attitudes and what